What's up, guys? Dan Can Reacts here. Today I'll reckon to The Search for the Lost Burger King Training Program by All Things Lost. I didn't even know Burger King had like a training kind of like game. I think I heard McDonald's had one too. I can't remember, but I think McDonald's had one. I think it's for the PC, or I think it's for the one of the game consoles. But I didn't know Burger King had their own version, which is kind of weird. That's interesting, and I can't believe this is actually kind of lost. I guess this game wasn't doing well. I think that's probably the why. I don't know. Um, but that's so weird that Burger King had their own version. What's next? Wendy's too, or In and Out, or what is it? Cane's. That would be kind of cool. I mean, that would be kind of cool if Wendy's had one of those too. But I think the only thing I remember is the McDonald's one, which I think that one's probably lost as well. But anyways, the original video will be description down below if you want to check that out. After this, be sure to do so. Subscribe to All Things Lost if you haven't already. Subscribe to this channel as well for more of his content, and then also subscribe to this channel as well to get updates on videos I'll be posting on this channel. So without further ado, let's get into this video and see what this I guess to see why it's lost.
Oh, hi there. Okay,
What the heck?
how is this real? Seriously, a Burger King video game
Yeah,
for the
I know.
Philips CDI. I think a little backstory is needed here. On November 17th, 2020, YouTuber Nick Robinson uploaded a video about his search for the lost McDonald's DS training video game, which has gone down as one of the most legendary videos in
Yeah,
lost
that's
media
what I
history.
heard about.
One of the aspects that makes Nick's search for the
They
lost
had a
game so
McDonald's
enthralling
version
is
too.
how novel the concept is. In 2010, the Japanese division of McDonald's internally released a training video game for their employees on the Nintendo DS. Companies have taken unconventional steps to train their employees in the past, corny videos or maybe a song, but surely a
Okay.
console video game is a first. No other major company has tried that, right? Well, in the months following Nick's video, there were stirrings of more. But not for the DS, or the PlayStation, or Game Boy, or Xbox, or any other major console, but for the Philips CDI, one of the most infamous flops in console gaming history, selling less than 1 million units since its release in 1990. So in January 2021, when I saw L Supersonic Q made a video about the lost Burger King training program for the Philips CDI, I took one look at the title and had a good laugh. This sounds like an obvious hoax. Swap McDonald's for their competitor Burger King and say the game's for the worst selling console in
I
gaming
mean,
history. And there you go.
$500 for that.
But at this point, I don't know why I
wouldn't buy
ever
it
doubt
either.
L Supersonic Q, because sure enough, going off a single comment on a video by Frame Raider, L was able to prove the existence of the lost Burger King training program for the Philips CDI, uncovering articles written about the program in the Orlando Business Journal and the Irish Times from 1996 and 97 respectively. But L was ultimately unable to find the lost game. Through some digging of my own, I found that the idea of a training program for the Philips CDI isn't so unbelievable like I initially thought. You see, the Philips CDI wasn't just a gaming console, even though that's what it's best remembered as today. The CDI was an all-in-one home entertainment system, with the ability to play a limited number of movies, some music, and even had limited internet capability, something that was wild in the
it's the
early
same thing
90s.
as a
The
PlayStation
CDI
2.
only began to be marketed
And what
as a
Xbox
gaming console
does,
years
I mean,
after
it's literally the
release,
same
after its
thing.
continued failure. And during its entire run, it was marketed for business use. Companies would use the CDI as its point of sales module, and yes, even as a tool for interactive employee training. Today, companies just use computers for their training. But in
Yeah.
the early 90s, even though the CDI was notorious for how expensive it was, priced at $1,000, which would be $1,900 today, as crazy as it
Dang.
sounds now, it was actually more cost-effective to develop modules for the CDI rather than a computer at the time. As 2021 rolled along, word got out about the Burger King CDI game, and on November 27th, 2021, the game was dumped online by Kalo Kira, sourced from the Home Computer Museum in Helmond, Netherlands. 2 days later, a playable version of the game was made available on the Internet Archive. And it's just about what you'd expect. Burger King training videos with interactive
So you
quizzes
can
that
actually
give you
play
instant
it
feedback.
now,
The
I
visuals
guess.
were
You can
corny,
still
the
play it
voiceover
now.
overly enthusiastic, and the introduction by the co-founder is awkward and half-hearted. All the staples of corporate training. But as I got to the end of the training program, I had a sinking feeling. something was off.
What?
So, a long time ago, I worked at Subway, and I bet anyone who has worked in fast food can attest, during training, you have to sit through so many training videos.
I mean,
Subway used a
yeah.
computer for their training, but there were so many videos to watch, covering everything from food safety, food prep, and just the general in and outs of the company. I would occasionally even have to watch new videos when the menu or standards
I love
changed.
Subway,
So when I
though.
finished the Burger King training program, clocking in at about
Subway.
17 minutes worth of video, it was clear this was not the entire training.
Oh, that
And my
guy,
suspicions
yeah.
were immediately confirmed. In a video uploaded by Mr. Burns containing the training videos was a comment by an actual mother bear.
What?
This is not the one I remember. It's very cool that we found one instead of none. It's just disappointing to know there are others out there. This is the first one, possibly made in 1997. The one I played was in 98, 99. I'll give you this detail. At some point, it tells you what to do in case of a robbery. Then you're quizzed on it. I'm pretty much the first person to bring up the Burger King CDI training discs, as I was one of the only people to remember them. No one believed me then either, but here we are now. Through some digging, I found a post on the site Interactive Dreams, a CDI blog site, that I believe is where Mother Bear first talked about the lost BK
That's a weird
CDI
name, Mother
program,
Bear.
titled, "There are still hundreds of missing CDI discs out there, used for very specific applications, like these Burger King CDI training discs." It's nowhere near as fun and silly and exciting as those training videos you usually see pop up on YouTube. It's an extremely boring FMV disc where you choose multiple choice answers. It's mostly video with bland voiceover, no cheesy music, no rap portions. It really sets you up for the kind of boring ass job that Burger King is. The only part I'd say is interesting
Yeah, that's
is the
kinda
part where they teach you what to do in case of a robbery. Even though I assume this was the most cost effective at the time way to teach employees, the CDI system was there around 98 to 2000, which is when I was an employee. I was actually interested in the CDI system and jokingly asked if I could play games on it. The CDI system at my Burger King location was one of those basic units that
I
looked like a
would've done that
VCR
too.
instead of the
Like,
more
why watch
console-like ones out
any of
there.
those?
There's
I
dozens of
play
different
video games
CDI
on it
systems out
instead.
there though. And just days after the release of the BK training program, Interactive Dreams updated their blog, and it seems the folks at Interactive Dreams were able to get in touch with Steve Baker, a developer on the BK training discs from 96 to 98. I worked on the Burger King training CDI training program back in the day. The actual training was created in conjunction with Philips, comprised of what I recall as 6 discs with 14 training scenarios and tests, quizzes, and virtual burger builds. There were versions in English, US English, Spanish, South American Spanish, I think Portuguese, and other languages. The initial project started in the UK and Europe for the EMEA markets, but the US took over and set up operations at their building in Miami. So this proves the Burger King training program is not yet entirely found, and it actually opens up a whole new can of worms. From these blog posts, the CDI Wikipedia page, and the articles L Supersonic Q was able to uncover, there are at least 7 other training programs for
So
the
there's
Philips
more of them,
CDI.
then.
One by BP Oil, Pepsi, Sears, Chrysler, Whirlpool, McDonnell Douglas, and Renault, a French automotive manufacturer. And I guarantee there are more. Some of the training discs from Sears and McDonnell Douglas have been found, and the Dodge version of the Chrysler program was for sale on eBay in October, but I was just a few dollars short on this one, and it's no longer available. Like and subscribe, and maybe
What?
next time Lost Media is being sold online for a
That
price
much?
not too
I mean, I
dissimilar
guess
from
it's old,
extortion.
but still,
I'll be able to buy
who
it.
would
The
buy
CDI
that?
training programs for BP,
You have to be
Pepsi,
rich in
Whirlpool, and
order to buy
Renault
that
are
game.
nowhere to be found. And just like L Supersonic's video, I initially wrote off the title of the blog post. There are still hundreds of missing CDI discs out there, but after some research, I really think this is true. And because these discs never saw a commercial release, we may never know how many were made unless someone like an old Philips employee comes forward. Because we are dealing with a mystery far bigger than I could have imagined.
I mean, yeah, that's kind of true.
Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate
But
all
it's
the
so
love and
weird that
support you all have
Burger King
given me
had
over
one,
this
but I guess
last
that's
year, and I look forward to seeing what the
lost
new year has
somewhere.
in store for Lost Media. This is Mike with All Things Lost. See you soon.
But then again, it's 2025, so I mean, everything can be found nowadays. I mean, you just have to dig deeper and find it. I mean, there was some other stuff that's been lost as that was impossible to find, but thankfully, they are found to this day. But I mean, yeah, 2024 and 2025 has been probably one of the best years for Lost Media, and who knows, that can probably be found by, let's say, 2026 or 2027. How? I don't know, but it could be found sooner or later. Same with the McDonald's one. And I do remember hearing about the McDonald's one as well, and I think that one was lost as well. I think that was from the I think the Japan version of the Nintendo DS, but I heard that one was also like I think similar to the Burger King one, but I didn't know there was like a Subway one. There was a Sears one and a Toyota one. Like those are actually pretty cool. I mean, I feel like they should have brought that idea back for like I guess the Switch or the Switch Two, or maybe even for the Xbox or PlayStation. I mean, those might be kind of useful today. I mean, I know a lot of people don't probably want don't. I know a lot of people don't want to watch all that stuff. Why do that when you could just play video games on it instead of just doing that? I mean, it could be both a game and I guess like an orientation at the same time. Just make it fun. But I can see why these weren't really selling that much. And I can see why this was probably one of the lost things that that they had or they've actually made. But I do remember the McDonald's one again. But the Burger King one kind of sounds interesting though. I mean, yeah, they could bring that idea back nowadays. I mean, I think we all kind of need that. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Have a good one.